The following blog post was posted by John Goodman on the 17th of August 2011. Included with it was a download link to 1dollar.wav. The file in question has been converted to OGG format so that may be uploaded to the wiki. Goodman mentioned that the post would be doing a extensive research on the mysteries surrounding the file. If he reports anything back, it will be reported here. Hello guys, sorry, microphone and all that. I just bought it in preparation for this. After my computer got burnt to a crisp in a lightning storm, I decided that it would be a good time to go buy new equipment. And that included this new computer. Well, not really new, it was, this is my old one, but a new microphone for sure. Fortunately, I had everything from my destroyed computer already backed up on a USB drive and CD-ROMs. My old computer was running good old-fashioned Windows 98 and desperately needed an OS upgrade. It was time to research online for a new OS or some sort of install disk at a affordable price. You might ask, why not get a new computer? I would have, but because of, crappy economy and such, I have no money to do so. So my only other option is to upgrade my old one. Anyways, I searched around eBay to see if anyone was selling a copy of Windows XP at affordable prices. There was no way to get my computer to handle Windows Vista or 7, so I just had to go with XP. Lo and behold, somebody was selling a full Windows XP clean install disk for only $1.45. Nobody was bidding on it, so I placed mine, and even after I placed my bid, no one else did. Needless to say, I won the disc, with nobody else to challenge me either. A few days later, I received a disc in a white envelope, and I opened up the envelope and put the disc out. It seemed to be just like any ordinary XP boot-up disk. I turned on my old computer, plopped it in, and installed Windows XP as one normally would. While I waited for it to install, I popped some popcorn, took a dump, and watched some television, occasionally checking in on the progress of the installation and responding to dialog boxes, entering the registration code, etc., etc., etc. Blah, 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 you get what I'm saying. Finally, it finished installing, and I could use my old computer, or use a computer again. The first thing I did was transfer everything I had backed up from my destroyed computer onto a CD. After the CD, a USB drive. After a USB drive, I finally got everything onto my computer the way I wanted it to. I decided to randomly browse around the computer and do all that before I turned it off and got ready for bed. After all, I waited hours for this damn thing to, load and do its things. So this little bit of random browsing time allowed me to de-stress and assure me that everything I worked for was good. This random browsing eventually led me to C:/Windows/media folder. Then I noticed a file in there called 1dollar.wav. I didn't put the file on the computer, so I assumed it installed along with the other files in that folder. Then I realized something. Didn't remember any such file being included with XP when I had it on my destroyed computer. Before I upgraded to Windows 7, I don't remember anything like that, in fact. Curious, I double-clicked it to open it. It was a very peculiar file. All I heard when I opened it was some weird static noises, almost as if almost as if it was from an extremely distorted song. The file itself was just 4 solid minutes of weird sounds. It kind of creeps me out a little bit. It's kind of like that same feeling you get when you watch Suicide Mouse really late at night by yourself, only by the light of your computer. It was that kind of weird. I mean, it was nighttime, with my sleeping dog being my only company, and I only found a file on my computer that I never put there, and it wasn't a part of the original XP installation, and all it is 4 minutes of weird static noises. Furthermore, it was in my system folder. Thinking it might be some sort of virus of some sort, I scanned the file, and behold, one Trojan came up. I had no clue where I'd gotten it from. I'd barely been on the internet. All I did was probably go on YouTube, maybe eBay. Nothing more than that. So, yeah, I guess it's installed with Windows XP. Suddenly I realized that I've seen the file with this name flash on the screen for a split second as the disk installed all of its files. You know, when it's quickly going through the files and it has all the names, I kind of remember this one popping up. I only could come to one conclusion. The disk had been tampered with. I decided to delete the Trojan and delete 1dollar.wav and do a full system scan with both of my antivirus programs, Malwarebytes and Anti-Malware and Microsoft Security Essentials. It was going to take a crap load of time to finish scanning everything and blah, 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 blah. Long story short, I was pissed off and I was ready to go to bed. And I simply just left the computer on overnight. I still felt a bit mad when I went through it all and I finally got my computer set up and upgraded the way I wanted to. I still felt a little pissed off, only to find that the install disk was fucking tampered with. All I know is that guy on eBay is going to be getting a bad review. I woke up the next morning, ate my breakfast, took a shower, brushed my teeth, went to my computer room, and I sat down, turned the computer on, and turned the monitor on, which I had turned off the night before I went to bed. I couldn't believe what I saw. My desktop background had been changed to a full picture of a dollar bill. There were two errors saying that my two antiviruses had crashed, along with a bunch of other blank error dialogues that were all titled 1dollar.wav. With a single OK button, every icon on my desktop was replaced with a shortcut 1dollar.wav. Even a recycle bin. My start button now said 1dollar.wav. You noticing a pattern here? The usual flag icon replaced with a dollar sign. Lovely. Fucking hackers. When I clicked on the start button, or in this case, the 1dollar.wav button, to bring up the 1dollar.wav menu, every icon there was also replaced with a 1dollar.wav. Ugh, so many 1dollar.wavs. And guess what? You know what the administrator name was changed to? 1dollar.wav, and the account picture was a dollar bill. I clicked Don't Send Report, and both errors saying my Malwarebytes and Microsoft Security Essentials had crashed, and blah, I just clicked OK on each one of the 1dollar.wav error boxes, and the OK to blah, whatever. The screen cleared, and all of it was Windows now. I tried to reopen my antivirus programs, but they both gave me a blank error titled, you guessed it, $1.wav. I clicked OK on those, and I went to the 1dollar.wav menu, and I clicked the shortcut shut down. But just before I got the familiar clunk of an error sound, I decided to click the power button. Nothing happened. I finally unplugged my computer, and it decided to shut off. Plugged it back in, booted in safe mode, tried opening the antivirus programs there, but when I did, my computer made the weirdest noise ever and abruptly shut off. I tried pressing the power button, but nothing happened. It didn't even wire up or anything. Just a freaking virus completely destroyed my only remaining computer, and I didn't even go on a website or anything. It came from my operating system I bought off of eBay. Well, that was that, I guess. I guess I had to get some things at the grocery store, so I left my house along with my dog and that. I have yet to earn enough money to buy myself a new computer. I do everything computer related on my friend's laptop that he generously let me borrow from him. That's at least when I need to check my email, or do something on my bank account, or something online, etc., etc. I've used that same laptop to type up and polish a story onto the internet, along with the $1.wav file, which I've gone through and manually removed any malicious coding from. After a certain cryptic message I read along about some last evidence, that will have to be destroyed if I were to share with anybody. which you will read about in just a moment. I've decided to research this as thoroughly as I possibly can about this mysterious $1dollar.wav. I mean, like, this could be some sort of weird virus, and if it is, I'd love to hear about it. Maybe even report to Tats about his mysterious virus list. Until I've figured out about this sinister mystery that, whatever this is, I think I'm gonna head off. Hello, I am back. It appears I'm left out one crucial detail in my last little upload here. It appears that I didn't tell you about how I got back $1dollar.wav after my computer was destroyed. Well, when I got home, my dog's ears perked up and she began growling menacingly. She followed a scent into the computer room and everything seemed normal. However, when I looked where my second destroyed computer that is, it wasn't there. Everything was still there, but the computer was gone. I thought of a robbery, but who would want an old computer that doesn't even boot up anymore? I don't know, everything seemed a little odd to me. Although it did bother me nonetheless. Then I noticed the tampered with XP installed disc I had gotten off of eBay was missing as well. In its place was a different disc. It was a white CD-ROM with something written in green Sharpie. I picked up the disc and it read, "This is the last remaining evidence that I know of. Keep it secret or I'll have to destroy it too." I glanced down at the table where the disc had been sitting on, where it had been, and there was just a single dollar bill. It wasn't crinkled or damaged in any way, unlike most dollar bills. It was in absolute pristine condition, as if it had just been made. I took the disc and a dollar to my friend's house, the one that had the laptop that I'm typing these words on right now. I explained how both my computers were destroyed, and he agreed to let me borrow it whenever I needed to. So I got on the laptop, I put the CD in, and on it was $1dollar.wav. On August 26, 2011, John Goodman made another blog post regarding his continuing research of $1dollar.wav. Hey everyone, it's me again. So remember that $1dollar.wav crap I posted about a week ago, right? Well, like I said I would did some research on it. Simply searching $1dollar.wav on Google yielded no results. I asked on a message board about the file, but no one seemed to have heard of it before. That is until I got a reply from some guy saying he knew of the file, and had bad times with it. It went as follows. Oh, don't even remind me of $1dollar.wav. It's caused me so much trouble. A 4-minute clip of sound heavily distorted music. It's crazy what that can cause. It was years ago. Some person on Craigslist was selling a computer with XP already on it installed at the time. Windows, Vista, and 7 was still in beta, or didn't even exist. I went to the house in Cleveland to go pick up the computer, and I brought it home and turned it on. I noticed a WAV file in the C/Windows/media folder entitled $1dollar.wav. Curious, I opened it up and listened to it. It was nothing special, perhaps a little creepy, but it did interest me. I closed it, went to the bathroom, came back to the computer, and I couldn't not believe what I saw. Everything was changed to dollars or some crap, and an error message titled $1dollar.wav. I tried using my antivirus to fix it, for what I instantly took as a virus, but it wouldn't open. I tried turning off the other computer, but it wouldn't turn off either. No matter what, I couldn't get the damn thing to turn off the virus. Or turn off the computer even. The only thing that worked was unplugging it, and I tried to put it in safe mode. I used my antivirus there, but upon trying to open it, my computer made this bizarre noise and shut off, and refused to turn it back on. I mean, I don't mean it refused to boot into OS. I mean, it literally would not turn the power on, as if it wasn't plugged in. The next day, my computer was gone with just a single dollar bill in its place. I know it sounds insane, and you probably wouldn't believe me unless if you had a similar experience with the file yourself. Cleveland. Cleveland. Oh, lovely. eBay had told me that the thing that I bought was from Cleveland, Ohio. I had a new mission. Track down the person that sold me this install disk. I replied to him saying that I indeed had a very similar experience that he had, and he requested me to give him the exact address, and I requested that he give me the exact address of the woman that sold the computer, as I wanted to have a little talk with her. I probably sounded like a stalker, but I really didn't give a crap at this point. Someone broke into my fucking house, stole my computer, and left $1 there. And clearly, this person might have me on its little hit list. I need to figure this out, as I didn't feel easy in my home knowing that someone could easily break into it. Surprisingly, the user actually sent me the address of this woman in a private message. Living in Ohio myself, Cleveland wasn't that far away, so me and my dog got in a car and we drove off. We arrived at a small yellow house that only could have been the home of the woman who sold me this install disk. We walked up to the front door and rang the doorbell, like so. A woman almost instantly answered the door. She seemed to be an elderly woman of sort, with a stout width and a white bun tied up for hair. I then looked into her eyes. Oh, those eyes. They seeped through me as if they were looking at my soul, hungrily examining it, seeing if I was a suitable feast to feast upon or something. I don't know. I was fucking creeped out at this point. I almost sprinted back to my car and drove off right there and then, but I couldn't. I had a mystery to solve. How do I explain this? Well, the conversation went a little something like this. Oh, why, hello, John Goodman, said the woman in a odd, old lady-like, but still menacing in its own way, voice. It sent shivers down my spine. And my first thought was, oh dear, fuck, she knows my name. Oh god, fuck, help me. And my dog growled threateningly at the woman. It took all my courage to actually sputter out this next line. Look, I don't have time for fooling around. What is this $1dollar.wav? And why did you put it on my Windows XP install disk? Oh, I can't tell you that, crackled the woman, whom I was now certain was no good. Why not? Because, said this odd lady. However, I can tell you this. Be wary in the days I'll follow, for the $1 will haunt until it's hollow. Before I could say another word, the woman just shut the door on me, laughing wickedly from the other side. Almost like she was a Saturday morning cartoon villain, but I had no choice but to walk to the car, defeated. I mean, what else could I do? Kick down her door, break in, and demand that she does what? What can I demand that she do? Tell me everything? And I'm not gonna get that. However, another interesting event came by when another man came by and asked me, "What are you doing over here?" I was talking to the woman who lives in that house over there. The man's expression came concerned. That's impossible, son. No one's lived in that house for about 10 years now. I looked in the house, but instead of a bright yellow cheery house that I had seen when I arrived, there was a crumbling abandoned foundation with wood planks nailed to the door saying "condemned" in green letters. But I was just talking with an elderly woman that lived there. An elderly woman? The man interrupted. The color from his face seemed to turn instantly pale. Yeah. You know, with her hair all tied up in a bun and whatnot, gray hair. That was the last person who lived there. She was an elderly woman, always having her hair tied up in a bun. She's been dead, like, for a long time, my friend. So I didn't actually find out much of anything new about 1dollar.wav. But apparently, it created a ghost. Interesting. But that's not the laughing matter. I realized the moment that I saw that dang woman out of the corner of my eye. giving me this freaking soul-devouring stare, smiling like a maniac. When I focused on her, she disappeared. Then I proceeded to sprint out of the room and hide under my blanket for the rest of the night. When I dared to go back to my living room, a dollar bill lay on the floor where the woman had been. Oh, I have no more information to report on for now. I'm a little shaken up by everything. I may just fucking quit. But, you know, I suppose that this would be a good time to stop recording for the night. On August 29th, Goodman posted a update to the blog again with another report of his strange research on the ominous 1dollar.wav. It's official. She's stalking me. Since the last post, I've been catching glimpses of her out of the corner of my fucking eye, always that soul-devouring stare and that demented smile. She always vanishes as soon as I focus on her. And it always has to be at the end of the night, and it happens each time I get the heck out and I hide under a blanket for the rest of the night. I won't dare enter that room again. There's a dollar bill where the woman was. I have actually collected all the dollar bills she's left for me, beginning with the one that came with the last evidence disc. Into one wallet, I've been collecting them. I've gone 3 days straight without sleep because of this fucking crap. In the most recent incident, she was holding a bloody knife. Oh God, fuck. Yeah, I know, it sounds cliche. She had a bloody knife. That was enough encouragement for me. I packed up a few things with me, and I got my dog, and I piled it into the car, and I went to my friend's house. Unrelated, I haven't told you about my dog's name yet. I named her Coco, as in, you know, chocolate cocoa. Anyways, as I was saying, I told him everything that's happened. I kept it secret because I figured out if I told him what I think, he'd think that I was insane or something. But at this point, I really didn't have any other option. About $1.wav. The old hag seems to want to kill me for some reason, and etc. I expected him to say that I was crazy and to call the mental institution, but miraculously, he actually believed me. I guess he knew that I wouldn't make crap like this up. So I'm going to stay at his place until the situation blows by. Posted on August 30th, 2011. Tonight, my friend glanced out the window and all the color drained from his face, and Coco growled menacingly at it. I looked out the window and I saw it. That blasted old lady. She stared out from the room outside with that soul-devouring stare and that demented... The only type of fucking lady that could have that smile was one of those old, demented, dementia-filled hags. Then she disappeared. We don't need any more encouragement. We pulled down those blinds, nailed the boards to every window in the fucking house, as well as the front and back doors. I don't think we're going outside for a while. Posted on August 31st, 2011. I went on my friend's laptop and I checked out that forum thread that I've been posting about asking about the $1.wav. Someone replied there under the name $1. I guess their profile picture was... It was that cursed old hag's face. That trademark fucked up grin. Her reply was simply, "Oh, more evidence. I guess I have to destroy it." I checked the reply button to respond, but it said that that thread never existed. And furthermore, when I searched the username $1, there never was a user that existed. And weirdest of all, her join date had been 1928. That was 9 freaking decades ago. The internet didn't even exist. Posted on September 1st, 2011. While on my friend's laptop, a dialog box suddenly appeared, prompting me to download $1.wav.exe. Knowing that it could only bring more of that old hag's haunting, I canceled the download. But guess what? It downloaded anyways. Ain't that just nifty? As soon as it finished downloading, it opened itself up, and I prepared for the worst. Another computer-destroying virus the old hag contained within the computer file, it opened. It was a game. A game. Of all the wretched things 1dollar.exe could have been, it was just some PC game. It showed a generic menu screen with play, exit, and options. The background was a picture of a $1 bill, and I clicked options. Just some graphic settings and such. I went back and clicked play. Again, preparing myself for the worst. I mean, like, Jesus fuck. It gave an instruction screen on how to play. Basically, the concept was that you were a bank robber, and each level you had to go through obstacles to get to the bank and rob it. In each bank, you have to fight a boss, and if you were to beat the boss, you get money. So I played a game, with my friend and Coco watching anxiously. Unrelated note, again, my friend's name is Bill. Bill the laptop guy. It was just your generic platform game, and I played it through quite easily. I beat 3 levels, and then I beat the 4th one, and then the final one before I got to the first bank, or first boss. And then I fought the boss. The boss was a kind of banker with superpowers or something along that. It was a World 1 boss, so he was ridiculously easy to beat. I beat him by shooting at his head with a pistol, got the money, and the game counted up my scores and so forth before taking me to the first level of World 2. I figured I played enough because this was incredibly disturbing, and I tried to exit the window, but by clicking X, it greeted me with the Windows error sounds that doom. It wanted me to keep playing, and judging by all the weird crap that happened to me recently, the reason's gonna be good. So I tried ending the application by Task Manager, but End Processes button only gave me the error sound again. I tried shutting down, but the shutdown button gave me the same results. It was very similar to 1dollar.wav when it had first destroyed my old computer. Because this laptop was running on a battery, I only had to take out the battery to shut it off. I put the battery back in, rebooted, everything was normal again. I deleted 1dollar.exe, and it didn't come back like 1dollar.wav. It stayed deleted. Posted September 4th, 2011. More corner of my eye sightings of the old hag. And all of them, she's now always holding a bloody knife. Boarding up our windows and doors didn't seem to help. She got into the house. Today we unboarded the front door to go get the Sunday paper. Even if we are hiding from a sadistic ghost woman who wants to kill us, I still have to keep up with the news, right? It said that a banker had been found dead at a local bank, with a bullet wound in his forehead. Should have pictured a man, and to our horror, it looked exactly like the World 1 boss from 1dollar.exe. The way in which I defeated him, the pistol to the head, the paper saying that it was a bullet wound on his head. As I read the paper, I saw the old hag again out of the corner of my eye, holding a dead corpse under her arm. It looked just like the banker. This time, I didn't focus on her. I focused on the paper to see what would happen if I didn't make her disappear. If she tried to kill me or anything, I'd just look at her. She'd just keep standing there with a demented smile, that shit-eating grin. After a few moments, her smile began to fade and turned into a frown, as if she was disappointed that I didn't seem to notice her. I looked at Bill, and surprisingly, he had followed suit. Even Coco was pretending not to notice the old bitch. I turned back to the paper, and I continued seeing the old hag out of the corner of my eye. It wasn't easy, trying not to see something that you could see so clearly. At the same time, I kept on wanting to look, but if I knew I focused on her, she would disappear. I wanted to know what would happen. What didn't happen. Her disappointed expression turned into a fierce, angry look. She raised her knife and lunged at me in unison. And in unison, me, Bill, Coco whirled around to see the ghost, which stopped abruptly. She was just about to reach us, and then she vanished. This raised another question. If she wanted to kill us so badly, why didn't she just get it over with instead of just taunting us like this? Maybe she doesn't want to kill us. Maybe she just wants us to make us think that she wants to kill us. make us paranoid. Paranoid to the point of insanity. Just for our own sadistic pleasure and amusement. Sure, probably wouldn't surprise me. The following was posted on September 5th, 2011. I woke up this morning with little sleep, and I opened my eyes expecting to see the ceiling above me. But then I froze. Standing above me, looking down in my eyes, was her soul-devouring stare, an insane smile. It was a hag. For the first several moments, there was silence. I said nothing. I was too afraid. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. My heart threatened to burst. It was pounding so hard, and finally, the hag broke the silence. "Good morning, John." It just took all my courage to respond. "Just tell me what you want, and I'll give it to you. Leave me alone." "Just so sad. When you live under a curse, the curse of my own creation, forced to pass on the curse to others, the cursed $1 of greed. I never asked for this, but after having it shoved down my throat so much, I've come to enjoy it. I'm not sure if it's my sanity that pushed by all this, but it comforts me to know that others are feeling the same pain as me." "Enough of your cryptic bullshit!" And suddenly, Coco jumped out of nowhere and tackled the old hag to the ground. Growling fiercely, the hag just smiled. "Go ahead. Do it. Rip me to bloody shreds. It might be my only hope of destroying this horrid curse once and for all. Your suffering will be gone, and everyone who's ever fallen victim to greed and villainy." Before another word could be said, Coco began tearing that woman into bloody shreds. I never knew my dog could be so fucking violent, but I didn't care. It meant the end of this terror that loomed over us. It was worth it. Me, Bill, who had been woken up by all the commotion, could watch this old hag be torn apart. She didn't even scream. Just parts and things flew. She smiled, as if saying, "Thank God it's finally over." And then it was done. Her body was mangled and ripped so badly I couldn't even recognize her. Blood was spattered everywhere. The body, it was over. A piece of it begun to shimmer, and then it faded away. They were all gone. No blood, no trace, no nothing remained. As if nothing had happened. Then we left a note laying on the floor where the hag had been. Bill picked it up and read it aloud. "Destroy the dollars, destroy the disc, before the remnants of the curse remains that lie within them to enslave you as they enslaved me." Instantly I knew what to do. I found my wallet where I kept all the dollars the hag left me, and I lit a match to it. A blood-curdling scream of pain sounded from it, and it almost made me jump from my skin as I threw it outside, and it burnt until there was nothing left but ash and dust. Then I found a disc containing $1.wav. I threw it onto the ground and I stomped on it. Another blood-curdling scream. Then the disc spontaneously burst into flames. Now that's what I call burning a CD-ROM. It burnt until there was nothing but a bunch of melted plastic. I had used a shovel to scrape it off the ground and then check outside. For the rest of the day, nothing else happened. The hag never came back, nothing. I think at last this long nightmare may be over, but I won't make assumptions too quickly. I'll wait and see a while. If anything comes up, if anything else comes up, I'll let you guys know. If nothing does, I guess it's safe to assume that haunting, whatever, I don't even give a fuck. $1.wav has ended. Posted November 12th, 2011. Well, I think I waited long enough without saying anything that happened, and I can safely assume that's all over. Me and Coco have moved back to our own house. Everything seems to be returning to normal. And after some thinking, I came up with a hypothesis as to what all that crap was about. I think the hag was forced by a curse to do terrible things. The curse was like the virus, using her to spread to others. I guess $1.wav and all of the associated things are all duplicates of the virus. And I guess the only way to assume that it's proper name is greed. Since the hag kept referring it to how greed came to be, or what it is, or what its purpose was, I can only wonder, but the hag seemed to hint that she was the one who created it. And it was a screw-up that she had made. Curse all of this. I guess all those dollars, those discs, and the hags were the last remnants of greed, and by destroying greed forever, I may have stopped it. She was so anxious to get her hands on evidence and destroy it because she wanted to destroy the curse of greed. I didn't know whether any of these were guesses or even remotely correct, but I don't really care. As long as this nightmare's over, I am content with not knowing. And I'm pretty damn certain that it's finally over. You think so, huh? And that was 1dollar.wav. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, That Creepy Reading, and today I actually have something to admit here. This story would have been done sooner, however, after narrating this entire piece, I was unsure what to really think about it. It's a very confusing one, and one that's left me very conflicted when I was thinking about the reviewing process. Normally, I'm able to analytically deconstruct something while I'm narrating it without much hassle, but after reading this one, I'm unsure what the hell to think of it. Well, now, the writing is good, and to be frank, I do enjoy the story as a whole. There's nothing wrong about that. In fact, I actually really do enjoy the story, but there's something about it that makes it straddle that line. Now, the issue is that there are plenty of cliches, and it does poke out quite a bit. The only thing that the story has to scare you is, well, a creepy grandma with a smile. Now, the whole smile craze is a little overdone. Just because your character smiles in a creepy way doesn't really make it scary. I can type down smiles creepily or has hungry stare, but that's not scary in itself unless if it's accompanied by some sort of visual that I can use, which as an audience like yourself, you could easily use some of my own visuals, but as a story, as a piece of written literature, just typing down staring grandma isn't creepy. In fact, it makes the story dated and cliche. Even though it's well written, well organized, and the author clearly knew what he wanted to do, it's sad to say, but even though I did enjoy this tale, I'd have to say that with the effort that the author put in here, it's not good. Like, at all. Now, it's not a creepypasta bad. The writing itself and the actual nameable characters and sentence structure and the way he inflicts personality within his writing saves it from being that. But as a good story, I'd have to give it a pass. Overall, it's so-so, about 5 out of 10. It's not bad, but necessarily it's not good. This has been your host, That Creepy Reading, and I want to say if you want to see the stories early, subscribe to my Patreon for $5 and you'll get to meet me and you get some nifty perks, and pretty soon I'll be selling some merchandise, so yeah. Taking note that I will be moving back into my own house on the 16th, which will be fan-fucking-tastic, as you won't hear this weird echo that I have in my hotel bathroom. Yes, I record in a hotel bathroom. I am completely sorry about that. You can burn me for my sin of trying to provide content later. As in the meantime, any donation will help due to some weird payment thing at the network. I'm actually not going to be paid through the views of my own channel for approximately 3 months, 2 to 3 months from now. So any donation will help me out significantly. In the meantime, enjoy this creepypasta and the further ones that will be coming out in the near future. And hopefully a few collabs. Who knows? I'm your host at Creepy Reading, signing off.